Okay, so we're going to do leash work with each of them individually for a little bit, and then we're going to try together. So we're starting out with Mowgli. Rylo's being a distraction, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so now that I've reminded him what these leash patterns look like, we're going to switch them. And on the e-collar, we're working at a 3 right now. So remember, tap and turn, holding. We let go as soon as he turns with us. So we'll just do a few minutes of this, and then we'll try doing leash work with them together. Okay, so this is where my hands-free leashes come in handy. One is going to be on my left, and one is going to be on my right. So when walking two dogs can be a pain in the ass. But that's one reason why we do so much of this leash work, is because it's important for them to be able to walk with another dog or even in a pack of dogs. So we're doing the same type of leash work that we always do, with one on either side. And the expectation is for them to stay on that side, right? So this is not a time for them to play. This is not a time for them to interact with each other. This is just us walking. We're doing the leash patterns that they already know, that they've already been practicing. So when you're trying to walk two dogs at a time, I would highly, highly recommend, instead of just trying to go for your walk, is that you do a warm-up. And I mean, I recommend doing this warm-up when you just have one dog, but especially if you have two dogs, This is going to set your walk up for success. So I recommend doing these leash patterns, leash work with one dog on each side of you. And I would say do this, for about 10 minutes or however long you need to do it. If they start to get crazy on your walk, they start to get tangled, they're leaving your side, I would recommend going back into leash work, because these are patterns that they have learned now, and predictable movements helps our dogs regulate. They help our dogs know what is expected. And predictability is where dogs thrive. Dogs usually have a hard time and they struggle in situations that are not predictable. Now, with all the dog training that we do, we're trying to set dogs up for those moments so that they can handle situations that are not predictable. But we're not there yet. Right now, we're still in the stage of setting up predictability, setting up situations where they can learn how to regulate themselves. And I'm walking in a figure 8 pattern so that they each get a turn of me turning into them as well as turning away from them. Right? So I'm turning into one dog and away from the other dog. And then when I turn around, I'm doing the same thing but with the other dog. So now I'm turning into Mowgli and turning away from Rylo. So try to find an area where you can do this. Doesn't really need to be a wide open space. It can just be, a 20-foot space on the sidewalk or a parking lot or a field if you have one. You can also practice this inside your home. If you have a living room or if you have enough space where you can just sort of walk in circles or walk in a line back and forth. This is a really good practice. So we might do this for 10, 15 minutes, and we're going to do this multiple times a day, every day. And we're starting in the yard, but eventually we will venture out to the neighborhood where there's more distractions. And the goal is for them to know how to do this so that we can go into these leash patterns when there are distractions and when there are triggers. And we're teaching them, since Rylo tends to go after Mowgli when there's triggers, and when he gets a little amped up and triggered by things, he tends to redirect onto Mowgli. So part of this is we're teaching him that when they're leashed and when we're on a walk, this is not time for them to interact with each other, right? They have plenty of time to do that at other times in the house or playtime in a field or whatnot. But when we're on a walk, they're leashed on either side of us. This is not playtime. This is not fight time. This is just leash work. And they're not allowed to cross over in front of me to interact with each other. Nothing like that. And yes, I'm not using the e-collar with Rylo because my hands are full. But since we've taught him leash pressure, he should know to turn with me, and he should know how to take my guidance from leash pressure alone. And so that's kind of the point of teaching leash pressure, and then layering on the e-collar is we should be able to use either one, right? So I should be able to cue him to do something with just the e-collar, and I should also be able to cue him with just leash pressure. Okay, so now that we've gotten into a little bit of a groove, I'm going to speed it up. Just a little bit. I'm going to walk a little bit faster. So I'm going to speed up my pace just a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Now I can feel Rylo kind of dragging a little bit. He's not wanting to walk fast. I'm sort of having to drag him along, which is not ideal. I don't want to have to do that. So I'm going to pick up my pace and see if he will just pick up. Yeah, there we go. And I can see as we go faster, they start to get a little bit more excited. So that's something we are going to work on, that they don't get too excited that they want to play with each other. So I can see now that we're going faster, they're trying to interact with each other. And that's what we don't want. This is not playtime. This is not time to interact with each other. It's just walk. It's just walking patterns. So I want to change up my pace a little bit, because sometimes you want to walk fast, sometimes you want to walk slow, and they should be able to change their pace along with yours. So I'm going to go faster, I'm going to go slower. You can reward them for staying engaged, which they're doing really well at. Especially Mowgli, I can see he's very engaged with me. Now, in a more distracting environment where there might be lots of other dogs, I would probably have the figure 8 nose loop on them, just in case one of them did lunge. And Rylo, of course, should have his e-collar on during walks, just in case he does decide to lunge or go after a dog. You can interrupt that with a vibrate and try to snap him out of it. So they see kids, so I'm gonna just do more directional changes. I'm reminding them that this is just not that time to fixate on the kids. It's just time to focus on me and the patterns that we're doing. So I'm making tighter turns. And remember, after doing something difficult, or not necessarily difficult, but just working on something, training sessions, which this is, I'm going to let them have rest time. It's really important that they have rest time after they're learning something or practicing something, because that's how they retain the information. If we were to stop this and then go right into play, they are a lot less likely to actually retain this information that they're learning right now.